From having another man propose to his wife and she put the wedding ring on, to 7 weeks later, Jason won his wife back using these 3 things I'm going to show you today.
You know, what was going on was she was getting deeper and deeper into that relationship, and it became a marriage proposal, and she accepted, and she had replaced my ring with his ring. That was a Sunday, and by Tuesday night, we were intimate.
Before Jason reached out to me, my marriage mastery program, he was in a big rut with his wife. He went through the whole complacency thing with the years of the kids, the job, just the whole default programming with his wife where things were just drifting apart. He knew things weren't in a good place with her. So he decided, you know what? We had a great time. We went to Mexico last. Let's go to Mexico on vacation again. But little did Jason know that that vacation was going to turn into a nasty nightmare.
We're actually like a week-long trip to Mexico. And while we were there, you know, hoping to have this great vacation where we're going to reconnect. When we got there, actually things were really started off pretty bad, and they went from bad to worse. And, you know, we were constantly just not connecting well, having a lot of disagreements about where we were in our relationship. She basically told me like she felt like we had grown so apart that to her it just seemed like, you know, we weren't in a good place, and divorce was the best thing.
Jason was completely cut off guard, and he went into desperate mode.
Everything I was saying and doing was making things worse, and I just put nails in the coffin.
Jason started to make the same 4 mistakes that kill all marriages when the wife wants divorce. He begged, he pleaded, he used logic. And the 4th one, well, you guys have to set up a call with me down below if you want to check that one out. All the things that only push his wife further away and confirmed in her mind that she made the right decision in wanting a divorce. The more Jason tried to get his wife back, the more he realized that there was years of harboring resentment on her end of all these things that he had no idea was a big deal to her. When Jason saw one of my videos, he talked to me, and one of the first things that we did together in my program was we produced radical honesty.
Somebody had stepped in that was filling that role that she was attracted to. It was identifying everything that I was doing wrong in the relationship.
As you can see, what Jason said was he realized that the other guy was meeting needs that Jason failed to meet with his wife. So many guys want to rationalize, minimize, or even say it's my wife's fault or she's being narcissistic or whatever the case may be. I've heard all those before. And if you start off with that assumption, I can guarantee you one thing, you're never going to get your wife back. You have to say, you know what, this is what I did in my behavior. I was not being the man that she needed, the man I first was when we first met. And that you've kind of took her for granted. And if you don't accept that as step number 1, you will never get her back. The second thing that Jason did correctly was this.
I have a 26-year marriage that, you know, my wife wanted to end, and I was still madly in love with her. I was nowhere near ready to give up.
You know, this unfortunately I cannot teach men. When it comes down to you and your wife in the situation, you can focus on all the things she's done to hurt you and all the things that she has to do to get you back. However, if you do that, it's much like putting up these walls and you're guarding yourself and you're putting up these defenses and you're saying, lower down your walls. You have these guns pointed at me, but yet you're pointing the gun at her too. And if you don't lead first and take responsibility and say, you know what, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get her back no matter how much it hurts in the beginning, you won't get her back.
And as she was ice cold to me and cut me out of her life, she saw me not giving up on my love for her, not giving up on our marriage. Every time divorce came up, I said, I'm not accepting marriage. I love you. You're my soulmate. I'm not accepting defeat. I'm not accepting that this is over. And I will fight until the bitter end, because I know that in the end, I can be the best man for you. And I know that you will only be happiest with me. I know that you will have huge regrets if you give up on this marriage. So because I know I am the best thing for you, I'm not giving up.
I call this second component cultivating commitment. Let me give you another metaphor to visually paint this for you. Imagine right now that with you and your wife, you're hanging from this cliff, okay? And on that cliff, if you want to get back with your wife, she's on top looking down at you, right? You don't want to let go, because letting go is the abyss of divorce and being single and alone, and you don't want that. But also, you don't want to do the work and the strain and the stress of climbing back up because you think your wife is the one that pushed you. So you're sitting there hanging on in pain. You won't let go, but you won't try and fight to get back up with her on her level. So where does that leave you? That leaves you in this purgatory state. You must commit fully to one decision or the other. And in the case of Jason and the men I helped save their marriage, they say, you know what? I don't know if she pushed me. Maybe she did. Maybe I slept. It doesn't matter. All I know is I want to be back up there with her, and I'm gonna do what it takes to climb up. The third thing that Jason did to win his wife back that many men do is what I call balanced assertiveness.
Because I do not want divorce. I don't believe in divorce. It goes against every value I have as a man that is committed to you, that vowed to you that I would love and protect and serve you until I die. That is the one exception I have. If you're going to choose another man, then yeah, you'll get the divorce that you want.
I want you to think of a line spectrum right now. On one end, you have the passive, weak guy who's afraid of conflict. He's a people pleaser, okay? These are half the men that I work with in my program. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have guys that are controlling, aggressive, they get angry, right? A woman wants you to be balanced in the center. She wants a man that is confident, assertive, and dominant. He's not a pushover because he has strong boundaries and he asserts them, but he's also not controlling. He leaves room for freedom and growth. I want you to imagine that on this end of the spectrum, you have a guy who has his boundaries that are closed off, and the woman she feels that she has no freedom at all, right? And then the other end of the spectrum, you have a guy who has shifting boundaries that just constantly move around, and he's always changing what he wants and what he says that he likes and who he is to meet her needs, which means he's essentially being like a woman, right? As a fourth bonus, this is also what Jason did that really won his wife back.
Additional love. That as we're working through the program, we don't love in the sense that we're hoping to get something in return. We don't establish some kind of covert contract that if I do these wonderful husband things, that I'm going to get the reward of my wife coming back to me. Yeah. I have to do it with this commitment to be the best man that I can be.
Jason let go of the idea of the blueprint mismatch. You see, a lot of men think that in order to be a good husband, for their wife to commit to us, that we have to do certain things, meet certain needs. However, that's your blueprint of what a successful husband does to meet his wife's needs and make her happy. A lot of husbands have that blueprint of being a good father, making good money, providing good memories, taking trips, and just being there, but not actually there. Okay? As long as I provide all this dream, this ideal lifestyle in your mind, that should make her happy. However, that worked around the 1950s, okay? Now women have different needs. As technology and things have advanced, women make their own money a lot of times, and they have different core level needs that a lot of other guys just don't understand. And that blueprint mismatch is what causes the conflict and the pain. You see, Jason recognized this early on. He said, you know what? I need to provide more than just bringing home the money. Yes, that is a good component of the financial provider. That is necessary. However, there are these protector traits that you must provide your wife with. The things that you've done early on in the relationship that you no longer provide for. The dominance, the assertiveness, emotionally connecting with your wife on a deep level as well. Now, all these skills and tools can be easily learned. No one taught you this, but once you learn them and master them, your marriage is a 180-degree turnaround, much like with Jason. If you want to get on a call with the same people that Jason got on a call with for free, click the link down below, set up a call with our marriage evaluator. We have limited spots each week, so make sure you are fully committed to saving your marriage and saving your relationship. Like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.